Emotional problems. Introduction. Love is the strongest bond between two people, and love is not without problems and conflicts. There is no pure, sincere and complete love, but these problems facing the two lovers may be a significant gateway to more great feelings and more sublime sensations. It is essential that each person understands the reality of the problems and tries to address them with his partner in the right way. Jealousy in love. The woman who loves is the one who feels jealous, and human feelings by their nature are difficult to describe and cannot be touched or even determined by their size and dimensions. We cannot know what is expected and what is not normal, and jealousy is torturous for a woman especially. The woman herself does not understand the motives of her feelings, especially about her inclination and emotions towards the man she loves, and therefore she cannot control her jealousy. But in the end she must realize that jealousy is an essential part of the human psychological fabric, and it is a feeling that has existed since childhood. And the feelings of jealousy are exhausting and tired, because it is mixed with anxiety and distress. Sometimes it comes to physical aches. The woman overflows with pain and feels tightness in the chest. Then extreme anger begins to take control of her, and she explodes in revolt, throwing some accusations at the one she loves, and after she calms down, she feels regret and retracts what she said. But she does all this because she loves him, because she refuses any admiration for another, and she is afraid of any threat that may pose a threat to her psychological security, and this is her right. A man must understand the nature of those feelings. A woman's feelings are more accurate and she is troubled faster, but a woman should know that there is natural jealousy, and a problem jealousy that may lead her to behave wrongly complicates her life. Natural jealousy is a pain, while jealousy is a thick pain that burns the heart of its owner, which is not a healthy feeling, but a feeling that comes as a possessive love. This jealousy is caused by some qualities found in a woman, such as a sense of inferiority and oppression or selfishness, and a love of control. And also this jealous woman may be of the type that is accompanied by a constant fear of the simplest things. Treatment of jealousy. The form jealousy is abnormal, and it may stem from a woman's way of thinking and her wrong assessment of a man's behavior, and her problem lies in her inability to mute feelings of jealousy. She rushes screaming, uttering hurtful words, and begins to lose control over herself because of her anger and desire to take revenge for the intense feelings of jealousy and delusional feelings of rejection that hit her. So there is a precious advice for every woman suffering from this abnormal emotion, which is to muffle her impulse as much as possible and hide these burning feelings with training and trying to self-control. It is quite possible that a person changes some of his habits, such as anger, a tendency to depression and jealousy. Just as a person acquires a wrong practice, he can also learn how to. It is also necessary to remove misconceptions from your head and try to replace them with correct concepts. The most important thing is to accept yourself and love her, because if you do that, you will protect yourself from the illusions that others do not take you. And know that no one has the right to own another human being, and the love relationship is based on agreement, so try to accept human weakness, and get rid of the concept of the ideal human. The man you love may be stupid at times and inaccurate at other times, as well as get rid of the method of constant blaming others so that you live in peace. Myself, and I'm certainly not alone in calling for tolerance above the limits, because that leads to an explosion. So you can do your best positive attempts to modify situations that may hurt your feelings, but fix it in a polite way. Be positive in changing the behavior that harms you. Try as much as possible to do it without attack. Tell your loved one that your jealousy stems from a true love that makes you afraid of him, and make him help you to discipline your envy in the right way. What is love? We cannot express love in limited words, because love is a comprehensive reality and a towering peak of deep feeling, and it is one of the most sublime, pure, beautiful, and tender phenomena. Love is a great human experience that we cannot understand unless we practice and go through it, and the mystery of love lies in the fact that it exists in the depths of the human soul, and has no reasons, justifications, or even introductions, as it is a driving force that changes a person, elevates him to the top, and makes him incomparable pleasure. And the difficulty of understanding love and describing it comes from the inability to. This is the secret that makes the lover see his beloved the most beautiful and best creation of God, and our relationship with things, subjects, and selves determines it. As for love, what moves in us is from within our depths, and therefore it is an indescribable feeling. And the indescribable thing is that thing that exceeds in meaning our mental abilities to analyze and take note, or it is the thing that we realize with our feelings more than we understand with our thoughts and minds. And love is a unique experience that is very special. No one can describe the degree of depth that love is able to in the heart of any human being. So it is love that reveals to us our needs, as it is the light that reveals to us the treasures of the self. But the treasures pleasures of the world, it is the most critical yes, love, happiness, stability, euphoria, reassurance, emotional maturity. True love is not a temporary offer, it needs special qualifications and personality traits. It is not just a whim or desire, it is a human experience concentrated in the essence of man, and includes his being, his thought and his feelings, and the nature of true love is honesty, but the sense of honesty itself is honesty with oneself. Honesty with oneself is a natural force that reveals the consciousness, courage and experience of man. Man, as long as he is honest with himself, is immersed with everything that is natural and sincere in life, and when two conscious selves meet, it indicates true love. Cannot love is valid only if it moves from within. That is, each of them must be true to himself. Honesty makes a person brave, bold, and confident. That's why when we advise others to mature, we mean, and move from the core of yourself and from the center of your own consciousness, because maturity makes a person qualified for love, and makes him qualified to be a natural person. A real person qualified for love is a generous person whose happiness lies in giving, because a selfish, narcissistic, and miserly person cannot love. A person qualified for love, a purposeful person, so when he loves sincerely and sincerely. A person who knows love, and his relationships are characterized by innocence, simplicity, and the assumption of goodness in all people. A person defends his passion for life. Stability of love. A loving person feels a genuine happiness that he has not felt before. He did not even imagine it. The reason for this is that a person, for the first time, meets with himself. He sees the true, sees the goodness and beauty in himself, and sees the tenderness inside his heart, because this is what true love does to a person. It is the mirror of the soul. To love a person means to allow him to discover his essence through you, and the lover, when he realizes that the image of himself is reflected in the nature of his beloved, this realization makes him feel how important it is. This is how a person feels himself and the other self, until they both reach the peak of feeling, appreciation and gratitude. This feeling of the other, a person is ashamed of himself. When a person loves, the gap between him and his partner disappears, and the self opens up to the other self. The two lovers find comfort in talking and revealing all their feelings, and they branch out to the most minor details in their lives without shame or fear, as if they are one and the same. Once a person loves another person, he radiates all that is beautiful, bestows goodness on others, and attracts giving. Love is not just a fleeting emotion or a temporary desire, but a real and lasting feeling. About the tender, the flower and fruit of love cannot grow without care, because growth needs constant care and follow-up. The word means that I decided to take responsibility for your consideration, to devote my time to you, that I will willingly give you anything, and care here means not only material obligation, but psychological responsibility as well, because this is the primary criterion in love. Love is total giving, and it is a purely human act. This giving can only come out through authentic love, because giving is one of the essential qualifications that qualify a person to be able to love, by giving part of his time, attention and feeling to another human being, and to live his problems with him, and thus a person is qualified to live true love, because he just decided and chose to give for nothing, and to sacrifice willingly. True love has no prerequisites. I love you and take care of you because I chose to love you. My decision to devote myself to you is unrestricted. The lover overflows with mercy, affection and generosity, and his feeling are mixed with the sense of his beloved in everything. If you feel that you love a person because of his advantages, you do not love him, but you love his benefits because of these advantages, peaks of spiritual happiness. Don't worry. Despite all the security and bliss that lies in love, feelings of anxiety occur that are not without fear and sadness. There is still space for pressure on the floor of reassurance. There remains a spot of fear in the longing sights, and this happens only from the intensity of love. So there is an approach, then moving away, then approaching again, like a swing. Nostalgia hurts us at that time, and we are afraid of loss, as if the loss of a lover represents the loss of life, and this kind of anxiety is known only to those who sincerely loved, and that's why the loss of love feels like he will lose the whole life. How not? He tasted the beauty of everything around him through love, and this beautiful feeling was the source of his strength. The life of a lover is a life of activity and pleasure, and this anxiety may provoke the lover's madness and cause many disagreements and various conflicts, but soon the lover returns to his beloved. So what a happy moment this is, the moment of meeting the two lovers after abandonment. One of the characteristics of lovers is that there is no monotony between them and no repetition, but every moment is something new and precious to them, knowing that there will be a clash, and this is an inevitable thing. Therefore, there is no need for the lover to rebel, worry and misunderstand his beloved. Problems and conflicts do not indicate the failure of love. Love, if it is real, will make everything seem easy in exchange for distance from the unique, mainly since the soul of the lover is characterized by grace and serenity, and his heart does not obey him to hurt his beloved. Even abuse in love turns into beautiful memories. And finally, emotional problems are not the end of love, but natural intelligence lies in sound thinking about how to solve these problems in the right way that will satisfy the lover and his beloved. Try to use your emotional energy correctly and flexibly, and be a fantastic lover.